You know, in a world that feels like it's getting louder and louder every single day, how do we find any real peace? Well, that's what we're digging into today. We're going to explore the core ideas from Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk to see how we can train our minds and move from all that chaos to some genuine clarity and purpose.
Okay, let's be real. Does this feel familiar? You're just trying to focus on one thing, but your brain feels like a web browser with like 100 tabs open all at once. You've got work, worries, to-do lists. It's just a chaotic mess. Well, that overwhelming feeling, that's what Jay Shetty calls the monkey mind.
And this, right here, this is the whole game. On the one side, you have that monkey mind. It's reactive, it's distracted, it's anxious. But on the other, you have the monk mind, intentional, focused, and calm. And look, the goal isn't to go live in a monastery or anything like that. It's about learning the skills to shift from that chaos to control whenever you choose.
So let's start by really getting to know this monkey mind. What does it actually feel like inside our heads when it's completely running the show?
The book uses this powerful analogy. The monkey mind is always typing fast, but it's not composing anything useful. It's just this frantic, non-stop jump from one thought to the next, from one fear to another, with absolutely no rest. That restless, anxious feeling, that's the monkey mind at work.
All this chaos brings up a pretty fundamental question. If we aren't the ones in control of our own thoughts, then who or what is actually pulling the strings?
Just let that sink in for a second. If you aren't intentionally directing your thoughts, then something else is. It might be your old habits, it might be pressure from the outside world, or it might be your own anxieties. So often, we give up that control without even realizing we've done it.
And here are the usual suspects. Our minds are constantly being shaped by forces from the outside and the inside. You've got the endless media scroll, the well-meaning but sometimes stressful opinions of friends and family, and of course, our own internal fears about the future. They're all fighting for the controls.
And here's the thing. What this really means is that doing nothing is still a choice. When we don't actively take control of our minds, it's like we create this vacuum. And, as this quote says so well, our fears and the world's distractions will rush right in to fill it.
But here's the good news. We don't have to just live in that chaotic state. It is totally possible to unlock a different way of thinking. You can think of it as a practical upgrade for your focus.
Seriously, think of it just like a software update for your brain. We can move from that old, glitchy operating system of the monkey mind to something far more powerful, more stable, and way more deliberate. And the best part is, it's an upgrade that's available to all of us.
And this is what we're upgrading to, the monk mindset. Now, it's not about emptying your mind or reaching some mystical state. It's a practice. It's the daily intentional act of training your mind, just like you'd train a muscle to build up peace, focus, and a real sense of purpose.
So let's look at the actual result of this. The monkey mind simply reacts. Something happens and bam, there's an immediate, often emotional response. But the monk mind responds. It creates a little bit of space between the trigger and your action, and that space allows you to choose how to proceed. That small difference, it's everything.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? Well, it really comes down to a simple 3-step process you can start using right away to build that clarity.
And here it is. Your path is a cycle of these 3 simple actions: audit, edit, and invest. It's a really straightforward framework for taking back the controls of your mind. First up, you audit. This is all about awareness. You've got to take an honest look at your mind. What people, what apps, what habits are constantly distracting you? What are those reoccurring fears that always pull you off course? You can't fix a problem until you can clearly see it. Next, you edit. Based on what you found in your audit, you start making conscious choices. This could be as simple as unfollowing social media accounts that make you anxious, or deciding that the first 30 minutes of your day are going to be phone-free. You become the deliberate curator of your own mind.
And finally, you invest. This is the proactive part. With the space you've created by editing things out, you intentionally fill it with things that actually serve you. This could mean investing time in a walk, nurturing more uplifting thoughts, or swapping a nightly scroll for 10 minutes of reading a book.
And why does all of this matter so much? Because of this number right here. You only get one mind. It's the single lens through which you experience your entire life. It is your most valuable asset, and it is absolutely worth the investment.
So let's be totally clear about the objective here. It's not about having an empty mind. That's impossible anyway. The goal is to build a mind where you are the one in the driver's seat,
where you decide which thoughts get your attention and which ones can just pass on by.
So let's end with this. Based on everything we've covered, what is one small thing, one distraction, one fear, one habit that serves your monkey mind, that you could choose to audit, edit, and let go of, starting right now?